work team for providing oversight in the development of the publications and spearheading the implementation of the Vision 2030. I also wish to appreciate the Vision Delivery Secretariat, led by Mr. Kenneth Mwige, for working tirelessly to produce this report. I must also mention that the State Department for Planning technical officers were instrumental in the preparation of the reports and will continue to work with VDS and other like-minded partners in monitoring the implementation of the National Development Agenda with the aim of ensuring the intended results of the plans are achieved. Going forward, I urge that we take advantage of the technological advancements in the country and ensure that we package the achievements in an easy-to-access manner so that the reports...
Economic Planning Secretary, Madam Mwoki. I'd like to acknowledge the arrival of our Chairperson of the Delivery Board Secretary. All right, let's appreciate the NCPD choir. And I'd like to invite our very own artist, upcoming artist, who will be making a quick song as we welcome the chair to present the key outcomes of the program. And at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite on stage a young lady by the name Kerubo, who will be giving us a quick song. Thereafter, we're going to the presentation by our chairperson. Kerubo, are we ready? All right, as she gets ready, we want to remind all of us we are streaming this event live, and we appreciate all the participants following us virtually, and all this is being geared towards a coordinated approach towards delivering development for the people of Kenya. I can see Kerubo is ready. So I'd like you to come on stage. Thank you. Let's appreciate her as she comes on stage. I acknowledge our chief guest CS. Thank you for Buy Kenya, Build Kenya. Looking resplendent in that top. Thank you, sir. And Madam Kerubo also promoting Buy Kenya, Build Kenya. Karibu.
We can clap along. Katika teknolojia ya habari na mawasiliano, upanzi wa kazi kwa vijana, kutilia mkazo uendelezaji wa kazi ya mikono, malengo ya Ruwaga ya mwaka 2030. Thank you.
One more round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Evelyn Kerubo. She's from MSEA, and we appreciate the talent and also, of course, the opportunity. Day. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite on stage the chairperson for the Vision.
Everybody, I am very sorry I came in late, and unfortunately, you also saw me coming in late. But I think I had an agenda I could not just give up. But more importantly, I had good representation. I'm sure the day was very good, isn't it? I have a terrific board. So as I start, Mr. Mushero, Principal Secretary is present, my board members, members of the Diplomatic Corps. I want to first thank Kerubo. Ms. Kerubo, you sat, gentlemen, and our chief guest. The Delivery Board provides the overall guidance of the vision, and the Delivery Secretariat, currently run by Mr. Mwige, sitting just very near me, through policy making as an advisory role. And I must say that we have a good board that is really more of a volunteer board, because they spend a lot of time thinking about this. The Secretariat is charged with the role of refocusing MDAs, counties, and the private sector to the vision and ensuring that all projects and programs completed on schedule. This is achieved by your actions where necessary. With 9 years to go, and a lot of people keep asking me this, that you have 9 years to go, are we really going to achieve our 2030 vision? And I think we can answer that question in several ways. I think we've done a lot as a country, but as natural, or it is natural to human beings, we look to what we have not done. 9 years can be a very long time. It can also be a very short time. I think we all can achieve a lot in 9 years, but we also can find ourselves not having moved at all. So I think there is still hope, and there is also, more importantly, a lot to sherehekea on, like Ms. Kerubo said. The flagship projects and programs are also just in words, and they could be transformative. However, the number of, we have a lot of competing interests in the country, and the number of flagship programs and projects have steadily increased. Initially, at the start of Vision 2030, there were 93, and when the Vision 2030 blueprint was done, but now they moved to 216 in number as documented in the MTP3. And this has been both in county as well as the national government, and unfortunately some of them have been fragmented and not necessarily flagship, but referred to as flagship. And therefore, to remain focused, the board, in collaboration with the State Department of Planning, felt the need to guide the national and county governments in the identification and formulation of what a flagship or project entails. This has led to the development of flagship programs, projects identification criteria. The preparation process was carried out in a highly participatory manner, involving consultations with MDAs, Council of Governors, and private sector institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vision 2030 Delivery Board and Secretariats are open to partnerships at global, regional, national, and local levels. Strong cooperation must be built upon principles and values and a shared vision to what is needed more than ever now as we recover from the tough pandemic of C-19, so that we can build back our country as we strive to achieve the 2030 ambition in the remaining 9 years. So in conclusion, whilst Kenya, we have suffered greatly from the pandemic, it has hurt our social and our economy at large, like all the economies in the world. It is not emerging from a war that has destroyed has destroyed its means of production, but a lot of other things. Many Kenyans have lost considerable amounts of income, and some are in a quite tough place. The workforce, however, remains resilient. We are still a very highly skilled nation, and we can forge ahead. But I believe we also can be a very resilient and determined nation. Unfortunately, it's when we choose. So I'm asking everybody, I think this is the best time for us to choose to be real Kenyans. And real Kenyans, a friend of mine told me a long time, that who was a foreigner, Mzungu, that we are very good at digging holes, and we can dig deals as deep as they can get. But we're even better at getting out of those holes. So maybe this is such a time that we get out of the holes we have found ourselves in, either through the pandemic or our own being Kenyan, good Kenyan, and really deliver to the vision in the next 9 years. So I would like to sit, but before I sit, again, I want to thank my board members for the continued support. I also want to really thank the public sector. I know the public sector, normally you're not thanked, but I've seen the work the public sector does for us Kenyans. We always forget. I think that's a positive we do need to recognize. And then the secretariat. It is tough. It's very tough to coordinate ministries and counties and national government, but I think if we did even that 10% of that, we would be somewhere else. So thank you very much, everybody, and thank you for coming. And God bless you. Yeah, so very quickly, I want to introduce my friend, CS, Mr. Musharo, Mr. Musharo's neighbor, Kennedy Kihara. Sorry, Bona Kennedy.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Jane Karuku, and for wishing me well and confusing me for a CS. I hope it is also confused in other circles and becomes a reality. So, guest of honor, CS for Information and Technology, Minister Joe Musharo, Chair of the Vision 2030 Delivery Board, Jane Karuku, board members, colleagues from government, ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to be standing here in front of you to say a few things before I introduce the minister and ask him to talk to us as the guest of honor today. And I think as a board member, because I also sit in the board, our role is very, very simple. We have been entrusted with keeping an eye on the vision, because this is our desired destination as a country. And the questions we keep asking ourselves is, where are we now? You heard what Mrs. Jane Karuku said, that people have been asking her, are you sure we'll have reached Vision 2030 by year 2030? And that is a pertinent question to the board. The board is completely seized of that, because we want to deliver on Vision 2030 and then get another vision. And therefore, we ask ourselves, are we on track? Are we getting there? Where are we actually at now? Why are we going there? The vision carriers, those who saw the vision have been mentioned, President Kibaki, my boss, Ambassador Francis Mudaura, and others who are there. And these will be passed on. Most likely will not be there by 2030, there will be others. And having said that, I want Chair Minister Musharo, with your permission, to comment on something that I noticed here. Indeed, allow me to say this. I was very worried when people were introducing themselves. Everybody was representing somebody else. My name is so-and-so, representing Director General this. My name is so-and-so, representing Principal Secretary this. And I kept asking ourselves, are we setting the agenda right? Are we really getting our priorities right? And I want to hope and believe that those people you are representing are somewhere serving this country in a function more important than this one. And that they are not absent because it's a Friday. And that they are not absent because they don't think Vision 2030 is alive, because Vision 2030 is in the hearts of Kenyans. It is our desired destination. And Minister Mushero, allow me to ask these questions. If we are not setting the agenda right, are we as a country short-timers? Are we more engaged with the short time, the here and now? Are we? Are we unstructured? Because Vision 2030 creates the three pillars. It identifies enablers. Are we there? Are we within those structures? And have we completely been faithful to them? Could we be, as a country, ad hoc? That we deal with now, here, short-term gains, and the rest? And the more cruel question, are we narrow and not able to carry a vision? One of our ambassadors outside this country told me something that was quite unsettling in the thick of COVID-19, that he wasn't sure that as a country and as a people we would learn anything from COVID. That other communities, especially in the Western Hemisphere, would really learn something, change the way they did things, adjust accordingly, and be ready for the next epidemic. We had that debate for quite a bit of time, and we had no answer. And as I finish, I also want to say this. I've been listening to some of our political leaders, including some of the leading candidates in the next general election. And I'm not sure they have read the Vision 2030. I think most of what they've been saying and what I've been hearing is more of sloganeering and really saying things that will excite a crowd by a roadside somewhere, but not carry us to the next level. I am not sure as of today, as I go around the country talking to Kenyans, that they have manifestos. And if they don't have manifestos, what are they selling? What are we going to choose between? What are the options? And if they don't have any options, do they have any moral claim to leadership? And if they do, what aspirations do they represent? Is it the aspirations of us as Kenyans? Or their individual aspirations to be leaders? Those are questions I leave to you. I can see some people getting uncomfortable, so I'll stop there and invite the Minister for Information and Communication, Mr. Joe Musharo. Karibu Waziri.
So we are obeying these protocols. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon again. I think today is supposed to be a very celebratory day because so much has been achieved. And, Kerubo's song actually got us there. But can we maybe just stand and sit just 3 times? Moja, we sit again. Again, once more we stand. Aya. I know there's one left, but it's okay. If you want to do it, you can. And lunch will be provided. I'm told there'll be lunch, so don't worry that exercise. Let me recognize my good friend Kihara and also the Vision 2030 Delivery Board, led by the chair, Jane Karuku, all the CEOs and Director Generals that are present, the county government representatives, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, good afternoon. I'm very happy to have find myself here this morning and afternoon. The chief guest was supposed to be Dr. Kinyua, the head of public service, and so he was not able to make it today because of other duties. And so I want to even thank him that he's given me an opportunity to come and be able to address you, country. And in many cases, we don't seem to celebrate those. We sometimes focus on those holes that the chair was talking about, and not at the great successes that we've made. I think there are three areas that I want to focus on my speech. I will not read the whole speech, but I'll talk to some of the issues. The first one is collaboration. When I listened to all the introductions that were going on in the room, it is clear this is an all government, private sector, academia, everybody is involved in Vision 2030. We are serving the same citizen. When you look at where we want to go, all the aspirations that Vision 2030 holds, it holds for the Kenyans and not for us as individuals or drivers of different institutions. And therefore, for us to come together and collaborate and work together, it is critical and important. And especially on even very important things. So development is one, but so is elections. So I get concerned when planning on our preparedness for elections. We have to provide the network infrastructure that is required for the elections. But we're not the ones voting. The judiciary will do their work. Interior will do their work. Everybody will do their work. So proof that we are working together as a country is when we collaborate and we come together in this way and are able to get a vision, a plan, and deliver for Wanjiko. Because Wanjiko is the one that has given us the mandate. And because I'm here, I thought that maybe I should spend a bit of time just to talk of some of the technology developments that have happened. And you know, we're involved in many of the ministries, in the counties, in all the work that is being done, and even through working with the private sector. And these are transformative. They have really changed where we are. I can start with the Huduma centers that have been mentioned. If you go on eCitizen today, which is online, you have over 300 different government services that are now being delivered. Many services you can now do them from your sitting room, even from your bedroom, or from outside the country. Whether it is paying for bills, you're including your taxes, returns, applying for passports, IDs, renewing your driving license, and I can name very many. Those developments, as you've heard, have transformed many, many lives, saved a lot of time, and allowed us to move forward. We have mapped our country. For the longest, we used to use maps from the colonial times. The president put together the joint mapping team, and that team has been able to develop maps for our counties, for the country, that are up to date. So we are no longer just using data from the past, we're using our own, and even the resource mapping that is going on. And this is allowing us to plan and plan wisely and ensure that we can actually see the development that is going on. And when you look at Ardhi Sasa, the system of lands, and the improvements that are going on in there, it's just one example of the transformations. With blockchain technology, it means your title deed is your title deed and people cannot change it. And you can go and search even from home or wherever you are. We make these things move faster. If you've already charged your property in one bank, to move to another should not be a whole new process. It should be automated. And this is why the issue of Huduma number is also very important. It is not something new in the country. It is not something new in the world. This, it's like a social security number that others have had for many years. The Estonian president was present here, and she talked about it. But she said even in Estonia, where they're the most digitized country, people still complain and fight on some of these services. We expect, like the digital migration process we went through, we are going to see that Huduma number will go through, and it will facilitate so many services and the improvement that we want to see. They say that don't underestimate what you can do in 1 year. So much can be done. So for Vision 2030, having 9 years to go, Chair, that is a lot of time. And there's a lot of developments that we can actually see. The digital migration I was talking about has now given us over 70 TV channels and over 100 radio stations. Now you can choose the channel you want to listen to in your tribe, in your language, whatever. There's that freedom, and that's what digitization and the technology allows us to do. We have seen that not only are we doing all our work here in Kenya, but we're now even beginning to take our companies outside of Kenya, whether it is the banks or the mobile operators. We're now going into the continental free trade area, and Kenya is taking advantage. And this is through the vision that has been in place and that we continue to all work together to implement. We have now a semiconductor factory in Nyeri. We are producing semiconductors and selling to Japan, selling to the US and Europe. Kenya is moving. Changes are happening. And on the digitization, we had our digital census. It was the first digital census that we've had as a country, where it took 4 years before in the manual one to be able to process the data. Now in 4 months we had our data, and we're able to use it for our development and all the planning that is going on. So we are seeing a lot of great work going on as far as technology is concerned. We can't talk about technology and improvement and not talk about M-Pesa. And we've moved from M-Pesa 1.0, 2.0, and we're now in the process of 3.0. But when you look at the statistics, we have 35 million or 33.5 million people using M-Pesa. Every minute, 26 million shillings is transacted. Every minute. That is, we have over 23 million transactions done a day. We have over 42 loans disbursed per second. And people are not defaulting. The default rate is about 2%. So this is money that is transforming the economy. Almost 50% of the GDP passes through this technology. That is 48.8%. So we are seeing a lot of development. We're seeing a lot of growth on the technology side. And this is going to allow us to be able to leapfrog and move a lot faster, because others have passed in certain areas, but Kenya is leading, and we hope we can continue to lead. Obviously, I would also be amiss if I don't mention some of the gains we've made with our youth. We have 75.1% of the population being youth. The president is so clear on the importance of youth and his love for the youth. I was so impressed just the other day when he met Miss Kenya and Mr. Kenya, who are representing us in Puerto Rico. And really just the engagement and ensuring over 7 assistant ministers or CASs. And in many areas, we have so many youth involved, the National Youth Council, and so much work is being done. And so even as the people go out and are giving their stories on what they're going to do for the country, a lot has already been done for the youth. When you look at education, we have over 100% transition. A lot of the work being done in terms of Kazi Mtaani across the country, ensuring we have the hygiene and keeping the country going, but as well as ensuring that during this time of COVID, we're taking care of the community and our young people, so they're kept occupied and working. On the digital jobs, which was shown in the video, we have over 1.2 million freelancers working on the Ajira digital program. All we want, Chair, is to get those 1.2 million to train 10 each. And in 1 year, we can be at 12 million. And if we go now to the second year after that, we can train even the older people and we'll have no unemployment. So a lot of opportunities are there, and 9 years is still a long time to be able to achieve so many great things. In the creative sector, we've seen a lot of growth, a lot of films, a lot of music, over 10 billion shillings going through even in the music sector, which is really growing and expanding and creating value for our young people, whether it is in the films or in the music that they are creating, and that is allowing us to see a lot of growth and development, and communication, and ensuring that we have a lot of information about where we are. We have internships, as have been mentioned. This is the National Internships Program, as well as the Presidential Digital Talent Program, where we've got even digital interns, over 500. We are hiring every year and training and bringing them together. So I can talk about many other activities. The last I'll say is about AGPO. This is the access to government procurement opportunities for youth, women, and people with disabilities, 30%. That is also making a big significance for us and for the country. So I would say we are celebrating, even as we come to look at the progress that is being made, receive the reports on the Vision 2030. So I don't want to read the whole speech. I don't want to go through all the discussions. I want to say that we're very proud as a country to be serving Kenyans. And it is very important that as Kenyans make their choices, especially when we come now to the elections, they must make their choices with leaders who want to ensure we continue to see this growth, that we continue to see the adoption of technology, the adoption of providing services to our youth, because all that is critical and important to ensure that Kenya is at the heart of Africa and that we're going to continue to lead. As we now have the 1.3 billion people in the African Continental Free Trade Area, we want to make sure those are markets available to our young people so that they can be able to create the jobs and the value that we need to get Kenya into a middle-level income country that is knowledge-based, that is going to not only transform Africa, but the world in terms of the drive that we do. So with those few remarks, I am again very grateful to the Vision 2030 Delivery Board, the work that you have done in being able to get us here, the coordination. Congratulations. And I say the same to the Ministry of Finance or the National Treasury through the planning department and the work that you've been able to do, because this has been able to allow all of us to come together and be able to grow Kenya. Asanteni sana, and God bless.
Thank you so much, CS Joe Musheru. Let's appreciate him with a better round of applause. And CS, I know a lot is being done. We are moving in silence, but we want to tell Kenyans that this is the place to be, this is the place to watch. At this juncture, our chief guest, I'd like to invite our choir. Thereafter, we'll go to the unveiling concept, where we'll be unveiling the reports, and we'll be getting to the climax of our event for today. NCPD choir.
I think we can all, tusimame, we enjoy this one. Yeah?
All right. Kenya daima. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause one more time. We are getting to the climax. CS, our chief guest, and I'd like to give you the singular pleasure and honor to launch this report. And we'll be counting down as we prepare for this. CS in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, shangwe na vigelegele. The launch of the progress reports of Vision 2030. A big milestone for the country and indeed a momentous time. All right. CS, we now want to give you a copy. With the chairperson, we'll be giving you a copy of the 3 reports. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You can remove the mask, yes, we get a good shot. Thank you. Asante sana. The beginning of the next medium term for Vision 2030. A lot achieved, a lot still to be achieved. Thank you, CS. Next up, we'd like to have the chair to still present by our Director General to our Chairperson. Kazi inaendelea. Amen. Let's smile one more time for the cameras. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. And also want to invite our PS from the State Department, from Office of the President, I beg your pardon. Karibu, sir. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for making time to join us. We appreciate your great support. We also want to invite our Economic Planning Secretary to have a copy of this report. Asante sana for always supporting our initiatives and for driving change at the ministry. Next up, we have Juliana Rotich. Thank you for being with us this day. We appreciate and thank you for steering the communications committee to what we have today. Asante sana. Amazing. Thank you. We also want to have former PS TM Party, Karibu sir. Let's appreciate him, ladies and gentlemen. Looking young as ever, and indeed, we are on course to achieve the Vision 2030. Thank you. Thank you for coming, sir. We also want to invite our youthful representatives who are. Thank you. Indeed, Vision 2030 cuts across ages, religion, and boundaries. Musa Gadanje from Treasury as well. All right. The money man. Yes, asante sana. Thank you for making time to join us. We also want to invite KICC CEO, Nana, to join us. Up next, we have Nana Gishaga. Karibu sana. Amazing, great to see you, and thank you for supporting us through this event. Mr. Oscar Tafadhali. Oscar, representing agriculture. Thank you. Asante sana for joining us. And then we have a group photo. Thank you very much. With your permission, our chief guest, CS, I'd like us to have one quick photo as a group photo, CS, kindly, and our chairperson. Madam Chairperson, kindly take an opportunity to pause one more time as we, to give it to the CS. Yeah. All right. Wapi shangwe na vigelegele jamani. Nanderemo. Thank you so much, CS, our chief guest. Let me also get one photo, CS. All right, we with your yeah. All right, CS, we have a quick vote of thanks. Just 2 minutes, vote of thanks, then we wrap up. Let's resume our seats. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being very cooperative and for being very lively as we celebrate this very important milestone for the Vision 2030 Delivery Board. Our chief guest, we want to now get into a gift session. We know you are pressed for time and you have other engagements, but we have to give to the chief guest as well as very good visitors who are with us today. And we'll also have lunch being served, so all this will be done in a short while. At this juncture, I'd like to invite the team from the delivery board to just make the quick gift to our CS. Thereafter, we have a quick vote of thanks. Dr. Oscar Magenya, please be ready to give a vote of thanks. In the interim, we can have the choir getting ready so that we can wrap it up. After such a successful event, CS, we want to go and fuel up again. All right, CS, I would like you to come to our podium down here, as well as Mr. Kihara and our chairperson, to give appreciation for just taking the time off your busy schedule to be with us for a quick gift. We can have it from this side, sir. All right, we'll start off with Mr. Kihara. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for coming. Chairperson, amepeana gift hapo. Thank you for your support. We also have a special gift to our CS, Joe Musheru. Thank you, sir, for supporting us and for blazing the trail for us as a country. We appreciate and we thank you once again. Thank you. As we take our seats, we have a quick vote of thanks from Dr. Magenya. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Abby. The Cabinet Secretary, ICT and Youth Affairs, the Principal Secretary is present, the Chair and Board members of Vision 2030, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished invited guests. I consider it a great privilege to offer a vote of thanks to all of us, and particularly the dignitaries and invited guests who have found time to attend today's launch of the progress reports and scorecard for the Kenya Vision 2030 flagship programs and projects. Today's launch is a befitting expression of where we are as a nation and a showcase of the deliberate steps the government has taken to address the social and economic environment and thus spur political and socio-economic achievements. We are deeply grateful to you, sir, the Cabinet Secretary, for accepting to preside over this function and for your very enlightening address. It was gratifying particularly to listen to you always, sir, and especially the emphasis on uniqueness of ideas and collaboration amongst all of us, and particularly on the new and emerging technologies and the potential we have as a country to tap on this for development. Likewise, you provoked the expectation of Vision 2030, Vision Delivery Board, and the Secretariat, and the role we have in delivering the vision, especially your kind support in implementing the recent circular from the head of the public service. Sir, through the chair and on behalf of the board, once again, I thank you for presiding over this function and your address. I similarly take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks to all the principal secretaries who are also members of the Vision 2030 Delivery Board and in their other capacities.
East Africa. Asante sana NCPD choir. CS, I'd like to usher you out. We have media teams have set up for a quick press conference. Thank you.